Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
The cause of a recent house explosion blamed on something most of us couldn't guess if we tried.
Bullet holes in a Detroit business, evidence of a shooting that left a woman dead behind the wheel of a car.
And in the toxic ooze investigation, Help Me Hank uncovering new information in the city of Detroit's long legal battle with Gary Sayers.
But first, we want to begin with some breaking news just into the newsroom. A 5-car crash has shut down both directions of John R. near Big Beaver Road in Troy. You're looking at video from Sky 4 here over the scene. We're told at least one person has been seriously injured. No word on what caused the crash, but John R. will remain closed while police continue their investigation.
All right, turning now to a day of new developments in the toxic ooze investigation, which has so many of us talking and wondering.
Yeah, we're learning more about the legal moves the city of Detroit took as they worked to force Gary Sayers to clean up his potentially dangerous properties. Consumer investigator Hank Winchester joins us live with all the details. Hank, this really goes back quite a few years.
It goes back more than a decade. In fact, this case now getting the attention of Michigan's Attorney General, which is why I'm here in Lansing. You're going to hear from her in a moment. But as you mentioned, the city of Detroit has been working to control Sayers for at least 10 years, a battle that has certainly taken a toll.
New information about Detroit's long ongoing battle with Gary Sayers and his blighted mess of a property on Commonwealth, a property that, like his Madison Heights building, may be filled with toxic chemicals. These documents show the long history between the city and Sayers. Detroit, the DNR, Eagle, the EPA, they've all been working to control Sayers for years, but clearly not much worked. Let's take a look. About 10 years ago, the DNR went after Sayers. As a result, a written consent order prohibited him from storing hazardous materials on his Detroit property. Right now, though, the city has several current open code violations against Sayers. There are misdemeanor charges pending for illegal use of property. Sayers pled guilty, sentencing expected in March. Last summer, the Detroit Law Department's Blight team filed a nuisance lawsuit against Sayers. That lawsuit is ongoing. The focus now testing what was discovered inside and securing that property. Remember, Sayers himself is now here, this federal prison in Morgantown, West Virginia. The facility nicknamed Club Fed because of the amenities, which include a large college-like campus. Most people here nonviolent, white-collar criminals. More charges could be coming and more investigations opened. How could so many local, state, and federal agencies allow Sayers to continue operating this way? And who will be held responsible?
Back out here live, it is clear that even though all this action was being taken against Sayers, that he really wasn't feeling the pressure because of all the chemicals that have been found in the last few weeks in not only that Madison Heights building, but also Detroit, which is why tonight I asked the Attorney General about the possibility of additional charges. Here's what she had to say a short time ago.
We've been working with Eagle on that, and we stand ready and we stand prepared to assist Eagle in any way, shape, or form. They are the investigatory agency. They're sort of like our police agency, if you will, in regard to that. And when they bring us information, if there is anything that can be criminally charged and that we have probable cause to believe that a crime was committed, then we stand ready to issue those charges.
Back out here live, the Attorney General also saying she wants to try to figure out exactly why Sayers was able to dodge investigators at the local, state, federal level for so many years. We're live here tonight in Lansing. Hank Winchester, help me, Hank.
Yeah, all right, Hank.
Well, we just took a look there at Detroit's battle with Gary Sayers, but today was day 2 of court in Madison Heights.
Now, Eagle testified that in one of their visits, Sayers couldn't tell them what the contents were in some of the barrels. The warning letters issued from 1996 and on were mainly addressing the hazardous waste laws Sayers was violating, like improperly labeling and illegally storing waste. Coming up tonight at 6, Hank will be back and dives a little more deeply into today's hearings, tying the Madison Heights building and the Detroit property together.
In a Local 4 News update, new information about a house explosion that left 6 people hurt on Detroit's west side earlier this month. Fire investigators say someone inside the home fired a gun with the bullet hitting a basement gas pipe. That allowed gas to leak inside the home. About an hour later, a woman lit a cigarette and the house exploded. 6 people, ranging in age from 20 to 38 years old, were hurt in that explosion.
Well, we got through that icy spell and nastiness, but now we've got another one out on the horizon.
On the way, setting up just like last time. Let's check in with Ben.
Yeah, it's almost identical timing. The impacts may be a whole lot different, though, and we'll talk about the weekend in just a second. In the short term, this living on borrowed time stuff is about to change because we can see the cold air that's headed in our direction. We're not forecasting 4 below, which is the current temperature in Bismarck, but we're definitely going to get rid of these 40s after today. In fact, maybe touching that mark tomorrow, and then we can forget about it for a while. Clouds and radar showing that, yes, it's cloudy out there. This is the next system that's going to be in here tomorrow, but that one's just going to be an appetizer. We are expecting some rain and snow, so we'll talk timing on that. Much more rain and snow over the weekend, and that rain is going to be a huge player in it. We'll talk about that. The real winter chill shows up next week. Wait till you see the temperatures starting on Sunday in the 7-day forecast. More on that in a minute, guys.
All right, Ben. Terrible scene this morning on Detroit's east side as a woman was found dead in a car riddled with bullet holes. Happened along Houston Whittier near right where it intersects with Hayes and Kelly. Victor Williams has a look at the scene and the reaction from those nearby.
You can still see the aftermath of all the shots that were fired on Detroit's east side overnight. This furniture business was hit nearly a dozen times, and a woman was killed after being shot in the face.
Somebody gonna wake up and they not gonna see their mama or their grandma no more. It's crazy.
Longtime Detroit resident Edgar Davis is still in a state of shock following the news of a woman gunned down while behind the wheel near the intersection of Houston Whittier and Hayes. Police got the call around 1:30 a.m. Tuesday morning for this GMC SUV stopped in the middle of the street. Upon their investigation, they found the woman, a victim believed to be in her 30s or 40s, dead upon arrival with multiple gunshot wounds to the body and face.
What could she have possibly done to anybody that get shot in the face? It don't make no sense to me, man.
Al's Furniture, a business nearby, was also hit. You can clearly see where the bullets caused a significant amount of damage to the storefront as well as the merchandise inside.
It's even hurting the business because that's an expensive mirror right there. And these windows is expensive too, so it's like people not really caring about their community nowadays, you know?
At this point, it's unclear if the shooting was random or a targeted attack. Regardless, Davis, like so many others, are praying for a change before other lives are taken way too soon.
And I just want to say stop the violence, man. It's the 48205, man, Detroit, man. Stop the violence, man.
And back here live tonight with a little bit of good news. Police, they do have one man in custody. However, they're still investigating, looking into what led to this happening to begin with. Reporting, Victor Williams, Local 4.
I hope they'll figure it out. All right, Victor.
Well, it was a grisly discovery that changed the lives of 2 families. A boyfriend and girlfriend missing for days, discovered in their shed behind their home in Clinton Township in August of 2018. The killer turned out to be her brother. Let's bring in Jason Colthorpe for what happened in court today as he was sentenced. Jason.
Yeah, Kim, there was no doubt about the sentence for Robert Marzeka. It would be life without parole, having been convicted of 2 counts of first-degree murder. The only question would be if he offered any remorse for killing his sister.
Diane Bryan had a year and a half to prepare for the moment she'd face her son's killer. Still, her voice trembled as she told the court who her son had become in his 19 years.
My hope was that he would grow up to be a kind, thoughtful person who loved himself and others. And I'm very thankful that I saw him become that man.
But recounting how her son, Saron Bryan, and his girlfriend, Danielle Marzeka, died revealed the despair her life now held.
The rustle of a grocery bag can knock me to my knees.
That's because after Saron and Danielle were attacked with a hammer while they slept, they were suffocated under duct tape and trash bags, the same bags in which they were found in August of 2018 outside their mobile home in Clinton Township.
I say to myself, sometimes out loud, you cannot keep Saron in that day. You can't keep him in pain. Saron isn't there anymore.
Their killer also lived in the home, Danielle's brother, Robert Marzeka. The 26-year-old again showed no remorse and offered no motive for the killings.
You wish to say anything?
No.
You don't wish to say anything? You murdered your sister, Danielle, and her boyfriend, Sarah, and you don't wish to say anything?
No.
You don't have much to say, sir, so I don't have much to say except that you're an evil man and you're going where you belong.
Marzeka ran after these murders. His truck was found in Toledo and he was caught days later in Cincinnati. And again, he has never indicated why he committed these murders. Devin.
Wow. Extraordinary scene there. All right, Jason. A Detroit man was sent to prison today after losing control of his car and killing a 15-year-old boy who was sitting on a mini bike. Decarius Davis O'Neill pleaded guilty to reckless driving causing death. Police said Davis O'Neill sped through a stop sign, lost control of his car, and slid off the road on Helen Street last June, hitting Donnell Johnson, who died from his injuries. A judge today sentenced Davis O'Neill to a sentence of 7 to 15 years in prison.
Still ahead here on Local 4, the reason demolition work has suddenly come to a stop for now at Joe Louis Arena.
Strange. Also, one last debate for the Democrats before the Iowa caucuses. Who will be there tonight and who won't be, and what they're likely to be debating. Karen.
They're operating without a permit. Take a look at this. They've got blight violations from the city they're not even addressing. And that's not all. So the defenders are showing up today asking questions.